Hello, it's the Wednesday update, and you're stuck with just me this time.
On a Thursday.
It's still Wednesday. Not posted till Thursday, but I'm getting it in before midnight. Kendra's bantering in the background. She's just not on camera with me, so whenever she doesn't like what I say, she'll chime in. Had a big week in the garden this week. The biggest thing came from the fact that I've been battling an endless battle with cucumber beetles. They're the little yellow bugs that look like ladybugs, except they're yellow instead of red, and they attack everything that I like to grow, apparently. Especially my squash plants, where they carry bacterial wilt infection and spread it from plant to plant, killing them. And they have also wiped out 2 plantings of green beans this year. I was getting fed up, and every time I looked, most of the information on it was, well, keep your garden clean. It's like, well, yeah, that's useful information for people with unlimited time. And then I came across a YouTube video suggesting to use Dr. Bromer's soap in a sprayer mixed with 1 cup to 1 gallon of water. I immediately went and tried it because we use Dr. Bromer's soap, and so we had some in the house, and sprayed a few things, and mostly sprayed in a male male squash flower, and filled it up, and went and did some other things, and came back and dumped out about 30 dead cucumber beetles. I would never have believed it if I had not seen it myself. So every morning I go out, and since the cucumber beetles congregate on the male flowers of the squash plants, I go and I fill up the flowers, and I think I'm slowly winning the battle, because right now the exterior flowers have bugs in them still, but the ones that are more interior to the garden are having less and less. The plants over the course of the 3 or 4 days that I've been doing this have just doubled in size and look healthier than squash plants I've ever had, so I'm very excited. I found 2 bean plants that survived, one in my garden and one in my daughter's little garden plot, and both of them have looked significantly better over the past couple days too. So the next couple days I am planning on replanting green beans and paying attention to how those go, and hopefully I will be able to provide some green beans for Kendra, because she has been very upset that the past last year and this year of the garden there have been no green beans. I also started pulling in big harvests. Tomatoes have really started producing well. There were 2 days I went out and harvested, and one day I got 70 and one day I got 102. So we're ready to start preserving the tomatoes and getting things going in that direction. Plants still look really good, and there was some more that look like they're ready to be harvested. I probably should have done it today, but we'll go out and do it tomorrow or the next day. And we've started bringing in squash. I grow several summer squash varieties, but our favorite one is called Magda Hybrid. I've got them from Park Seed, and they are an Indian squash. Anybody that grows the standard zucchini, that's great that you grow that. I personally find them to have no flavor, and we have tried several different varieties, and every one of them we go, why do people grow the standard green zucchini? We also grow some scallop squash that Kendra pickles to make scallop squash pickles. I brought in 8 or 10 of those the other day, and started bringing in trombone squash. These are my favorite squash to grow. They vine out like a winter squash, but you can harvest them like a summer squash, and if you miss any of them as summer squash, they will just harden up like a winter squash, and they make an awesome winter squash. The whole neck is flesh like a butternut. And squash is, and so the whole thing is useful as opposed to a pumpkin, which is mostly air on the inside. The other things we did outside the garden this week, I put up a old dinner bell that has been on it had been on our property years before, and when we moved here it was just sitting in the garage, and it has been on my to-do list for years but have never found time. And early in May, when I was still chainsawing, I cut down a big hedge limb and that I planned on putting the bell up on. And so this week I finally dug the hole and put the pole up and put the bell up. I originally tried putting it up as the whole limb, and when Kendra came out to look at it, she decided that was way too tall. So we cut it down, and this is what we ended up with. Our kids have loved ringing the bell. They go out and ring it several times a day, and I myself am not immune to how fun it is to ring the bell, because I also ring it several times a day for no real good reason. And I think that's mostly what's going on. I got the lawn all mowed this week, at least 2/3 of it, and then my spindle issues have returned, but I'm going to try something different this time, and hopefully we will be back with a working lawnmower. I also harvested potatoes, filled up a bushel box with the first 2 rows, and then I don't know that I quite matched it with the second 2 rows, but it was pretty close, so we're looking at about 2 bushels of potatoes. They have been quite delicious. I also entered some red potatoes and some Yukon Gold potatoes at the fair, along with some squash and some herbs and some flowers. And other than that, the garden is really starting to look good, and hopefully our harvest will continue to be being reported like this as the weeks go on. We'll see you later. Bye.